Yo, speaking of potty mouths,
Started recording. Transition like that.
oh
I
my
see you over
god.
there.
I've actually been recording this whole time, but that first little bit I'm gonna have to cut out because can't be having that out in the world of what you guys just saying out there in the world of the business and the gaming and the love and life. You know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely
So
edit that part out. We won't be friends anymore if you don't.
I'm gonna leave it in then for sure.
Oh wow, it's like
Dad?
Dad, is that you? All right, so I'm FUNKNOWN. I'm here with Chef and Glint. Say what's up, guys.
what's
What's
going on,
up?
guys?
What's up? We're off to a great start, boys. This is Small Talk with iXi. It's been a while since we put these up. Last one was a lost episode that myself, Glint, and Lottie recorded a while back, and I only just recently put it up. Things happen, so life. You gotta move on. Life finds a way, though, as they say.
Lottie has since then gone missing. So if you've seen,
He went missing. I tried to get him. I don't know what happened. He said he didn't have it, Bo. I don't have it. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so we're gonna split this episode into two topics. First half is gaming related. Second half is off topics, like anything that doesn't have to do with gaming. And to jump right into it, the first topic is a little podcast game I'm calling Pitch It or Ditch It. And pretty much the idea is we're each going to bring one game to discuss, and the other two members or panelists or whatever have to ask questions and decide if it's an idea that's worth pitching or if we should just ditch it. You guys got it? Any questions?
I got it.
Pretty straightforward, right? All right.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll go first. Now, we were talking off cam, Chef. Let me know if this is anything in the realm of what you were gonna do. My idea would be to create a sequel to Banjo Kazooie. So Banjo 3.
The love for that game is so real.
I fucking love that game. Banjo Kazooie is one of my favorite games. Definitely one of my favorite platformers. I feel like there hasn't been many since the N64 era that lives up to that kind of design. The collectathon. You stay in one world, you collect a whole bunch of items, and then you unlock new worlds through that progression. And Banjo Kazooie is unique in that it had transformations and stuff. I don't know if you guys ever played Super Mario Odyssey, but I felt like that took some cues from Banjo Kazooie in its world design, where like you can find multiple moons and not like teleport out of the world after you collect one. You just stay in it and just keep collecting.
That was
So-
actually the game I was going to give as an example when you said hasn't been done in a really long time.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, it was just kind of done.
So for my idea for Banjo 3E would, because Banjo 2E, gotta keep that naming convention, what people have wanted for years. Banjo 3E would be something in design that's similar to, if you haven't played Banjo Kazooie, it's similar to Mario Odyssey in the base of it. But to expand it further, I would like to focus on the strengths of like transformations and other things that make it unique like that, and pretty much bring it up to where we would expect in a modern game, So as far as like transformations, they can bring some classics back, like the T-Rex from Tui, or completely new things. Look into some inspiration from Mario, how they had the Cappy mechanic where you can throw and capture all kinds of different enemies and control them. So that really like sparked my interest again in playing a Banjo Kazooie game. And pretty much something that harkens back to the originals, because I feel like Microsoft could use that kind of title because they don't have any strong 3D platformers in their exclusive library. I mean, they have Lucky's Tale, but that's okay.
They have a very limited exclusive library to begin with.
Well, yeah, but Banjo-Kazooie, I feel like that can be like the Mario title for Xbox, and That's what I want. Have you guys played Banjo Kazooie before, or?
I have not.
I
Being a
played
Mario
the
for the original.
yeah.
So can you guys fill me in? Like I know you want to give it like a Banjo Kazooie 3. How did the original game end, and then the second game? Like, did the original game bridge into the second game, or were they kind of like two separate entities?
Well, if you're asking regarding plot, plot wasn't too deep in those games, but it's your basic. They gotta save their world from this witch named Grintilda, and there's a lot of like snarky humor in the game too, where it's fun for kids, but if you're playing it if you're playing it at an older age, you can definitely see the little innuendos they had in there, and like
So it's like a Disney movie.
yeah, well, a little more vulgar than a Disney movie, but yeah,
Would you say it's
um,
comparable to like Conquer?
it's not as bad as Conquer. Conquer has curses and stuff in it, so it's a lighter version of Conquer. Have you played Conquer?
I have indeed played Conquer.
Yeah, I mean Conquer's different in design, but it's obviously made by Rare also. Um, but as far as connecting the games, I mean they would bring back the same characters ideally, and just put them in different scenarios. As far as like bringing back stuff that fans can recall from the older games, I would say bring back the hub world, which is you start off on a spiral mountain, and then you go into Gruntilda's lair, and then like it's like Mario 64 where
Like different parts of the universe.
yeah, within that world. So you know how in Mario 64 you collect the number of stars, and then you
Mhm.
get to the next painting or whatever. It's like the same way you collect a certain number of jiggies, they're called, like music notes. Jiggies are the jigsaw pieces, but music notes are what you use to progress into new areas. So yeah, stuff like that.
How
Uh,
about they just put Banjo Kazooie in Smash?
I mean, just that's you're just speaking my language right there. I'm
Yeah.
all down for that.
So I like the game idea of the sequel. I would definitely have to play the first two, just because I mean that game is just widely loved. It's not just you. I know that game holds a special place in your heart, but I know a lot of people really liked it. Um, what would give the game like replayability though? So like if I played through the game, I beat the story, what would make me go back to the game and play it some more?
I would say, although these kinds of games are, pretty much it comes down to the gameplay feel. So similar to Mario Odyssey, once you beat it, you don't have much of an incentive to go back and keep playing it. But the gameplay feels so good that you might want to do multiple playthroughs. Plus, they have a lot of hidden collectibles, whether it's like moons. Maybe they can have things like you collect concept art. A lot of games do that kind of thing, or other kind of collectibles, whether it's unlockables, whether it's skins or different music or something. Maybe they have different animations, all kinds of stuff they can have as far as unlocking progression. And maybe actually, since we're living in 2019, they can have some kind of DLC plan.
Let's see. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
So they'll
Yeah.
come out with new worlds and whatnot that you can unlock every so often.
I like it. I played Gex, Enter the Gecko. Of course, I played Mario
Gex.
64, right? So Mario 64 is like super similar. The comparison you made and by what you explained to me. I played Gex. Gex had the same thing. Well, Gex, uh, and the one with all the TVs, where you had a hub world and you had to jump through all the TVs and collect the remotes. So same idea.
Yeah.
I'm always down for a good game like that. I would definitely pitch it. I
All
like
right.
it.
How about you, Chef?
Yeah, I'd say pitch it. I mean, they already made two games. I believe that people that from back in the day are going to buy it, as long as it's going to be well made.
Yeah, I figured because Banjo Kazooie has a certain level of affinity from fans, so and that name recognition. So
Yeah.
just on that alone, it'll be something great to bring back. And whether it's a Banjo 3, I was gonna say a Banjo Kazooie remake. That might actually be better to bring back first. But
Yeah, remaster version.
yeah, a complete remake because they have Banjo. I don't know if you guys know about Rare Replay or if you've played that rather, but they have Banjo Kazooie and Banjo Tooie. They made
Oh,
up-res versions of those games with widescreen and some other improvements.
I
For
actually
the
have that game, so now I'm gonna go play Banjo Kazooie.
I'm expecting you to play. You better play that game. I watch. If anything, you should stream it. I'd watch that. But yeah, it's widescreen. And it just looks and because they made it for the 360 originally, that upres, but they put it into the package for a rare replay. It's really fun. And Banjo Kazooie in particular still holds up because it's more of a smaller, more focused world. Tui is like it expanded the world like tremendously. There's so much progression in that game where like everything is connected. You gotta revisit worlds, and it's kind of complicated. And if they were to remake that, I want some better direction. But nah, yeah, it's good though. So you guys understand the level of greatness that is Banjo Kazooie's name, right?
Yeah.
I It's a hype story for me. You know what I mean? I haven't played it. I gotta play it myself, but
Yeah.
it's loved by a lot of people. So let's have some it draws some respect from me. You know what I mean?
All right, so we gotta pitch it. We gotta one
Yeah.
pitch it. Let me see who wants to go next. Glint, you want to go?
Put it down. So I think like a Banjo Kazooie game would do very well in this day and age. I feel like we're kind of shifting away from the online multiplayer and back to the single player storyline kind of realm. As far as this gaming generation goes, I mean, games like Witcher 3, games like Kingdom Hearts now, Dragon Age. I mean, the reason I play video games is a social thing. I want to play with my friends. You know what I mean? Best times you have is when you're like staying up at late, on the weekend, playing a game, kind of exploring the world. And I think my most fondest gaming experience was the first time I played Destiny, or rather like the whole first month of Destiny 1, where like nothing was really known about the game, and everything you were kind of like discovering. You know what I mean? There was no guidebook to show you how to play or tell you where to go or what kind of secrets there were. And if we can get a similar game, I'm going to tell you what kind of game I would like to see it then. If we could get a similar game, um, to that kind of mystique and mystery and sense of exploration as an online MMO, that would be great. Which actually brings me to
Your
I would
pitch.
love to see. Yeah, I would love to see. I think a World of Warcraft 2.
Oh
Um,
shit.
but like I want the whole game rebuilt. I saw as an RPG, I think there's a lot of things World of Warcraft does very, very as far as like never-ending content. WoW is pretty good with that. I think they went a little towards the RNG, but like what are you gonna do? I guess that's how they keep people hooked. I want the whole game rebuilt from the ground up. I don't want the cartoony graphics anymore. I want like real deal, like top of the line, like PC graphics, like similar things that you see kind of like Square Enix. Um, I think like the Dark Souls or the Form Software graphics are a little too real for the WoW, but definitely better graphics from the ground up. And I want no sense of direction at all. I want literally the exact opposite of what you wanted for like the Banjo Kazooie. I want to be left to explore the world on my own, exactly the way I want to explore it. You know what I mean? And then obviously you level up, and then you find dungeons, and you explore those kind of dungeons and raids and things like that. The only thing about it is, I think the sense of mystery would be lost within like the first year or two of the game. Um, because then with expansions rolling out, you wouldn't have enough time to create such like a vast explorative world. But definitely World of Warcraft too. I think it's time.
But all right, so then sustainment. It would be similar in design to WoW, the first one, as
Yeah, I
in
look.
with expansions and whatnot.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about WoW is kind of like scaled down. So you know how back in the day, I don't know if you played, but back in the day, 1 to 60 used to be a grind. Basically, what they did now is they kind of like minimize that grind so more people could get to the end game. And I feel like what happens is that's the whole kind of game. I feel like the game should be like decently grindy. Because just the thing that stinks about certain like MMOs is like you sink a bunch of time into it, you don't feel like you're any stronger. People who barely sunk any time into it, You know what I mean? It's kind of like, why'd I play that long? And I would do no cash shop at all. No cash shop. I would do a cash shop, but no XP boosts. I would do no better items, all skins, great aesthetics, and then have a creator shop where people who play the game could create different armor skins. Transmog. Sustainability, same thing. You have expansions. I mean, what are you going to do? Hopefully, the skins from the cash shop drive the expansion. Seems to
Yeah.
work pretty well for Dota 2 and also for Fortnite. Fortnite also has the battle passes. And then if you want, what you could even do, you could have kind of like a battle royale mode in the PvP in the game.
Battle
You know what I mean?
Royale.
Yeah,
Hmm.
where you do like teams of
Hmm.
3 or 4 or 5. I think 5 would be good, obviously, because you get a couple DPS, a healer, or whatever. Um, and I think that would be great because everybody did shooter-based battle royale, and there's so many shooter-based battle royales. But are there any melee-based ones?
Mm, there might be a couple on PC, maybe,
I
but
think there is a few that exist on PC only, but nothing major.
yeah.
So I would like to see that, and an interesting twist. You give it a fresh game mode, uh, and just take away all of the WoW has like dungeon finders. Like you guys could tell me if you like this or not, but WoW has dungeon finders. Basically, you could queue for a party, right? And a lot of games that have multiplayer activity, great, whatever. You could find people to play with if you don't know anybody. But what happens is guilds guilds fell apart and it became very hard to form guilds because everybody could just RNG queue it.
Yeah.
And it builds kind of like that family and you know what I mean? Like I think we need to get back to a time where we're playing games with our friends. Especially like I think it's just about time for cross. Want exclusives, have exclusives. You should crossplay with everything. Like I think Sony would do much better if they just allowed crossplay. You know what I mean? I don't think they would do much worse because you still have all those exclusive titles for the game.
So
You know,
your
but
game would be calling
all
Sony out
platforms,
on social media if they denied it.
basically all platforms, all
Okay, that's
platforms.
that's a plus for me.
Yeah. And then full crossplay, cash shop, and one big open world RPG with no direction that you can play any way you want.
All right. Any questions for him, Chef?
No, not at all. I mean, it's WoW, so I mean, there's a huge following. It's go for it.
If you
Shit.
know, you know.
Yeah.
I do have one question though, and this is critical in my decision to pitch it or ditch it.
Pressure's on.
Upon the release of WoW 2, what happens to WoW 1?
Uh, Good question. Honestly, here's the thing: if they don't shut the servers down, I guess you get a bunch of day with WoW 1, right? This is what you do really easily. Same thing WoW 1 did with WoW Vanilla. Just have classic servers. Or if you want to play the old WoW, you play the old WoW in that realm, that world. You transfer all your characters over and stuff.
You hit me with the wild card. And a
Uh,
bit of me wanted you to say that just shut it down completely.
I wanted to say shut it down completely, but then like you know how it's gonna be. You have the crowd in WoW that's already like not as good as it was in vanilla. You know what I mean? Which is like it's not as good as it was in the first base version of the game,
Yeah,
which are always going to say that about
Yeah.
WoW. You know what I mean? The new WoW.
yeah.
But I think everyone will try it. Even the old players will try it whenever.
All right. So what are you gonna decide, Chef?
On his game?
Yeah, pitching it
Yeah.
or ditching it?
Yeah. Yeah, pitch it.
All right. Now here's my line of thinking. I think the world still might be too. They're just not ready for a WoW 2 at this point in time. But with that being said, I'm still gonna take the chance and pitch it. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, they might not be ready, but it's such a big name and there's such a big following for the game. I've never played it, and like I'm interested in the game you pitched, especially if it comes to like an Xbox. Like I'm buying. So
Yeah, the crossplay and having it on consoles is what another key factor of in my decision. I was ready to ditch it as soon as you said WoW 2. I had my finger over that ditch button, and I was like, I don't know, the world's not ready for WoW 2 after so many people are still playing the first one.
A master salesman. The first one's losing population fast. And not only the consoles are consoles, I think a good place for an MMO. Just the Switch. Switch is the perfect thing for an MMO. Honestly, to get MMO on the go with you. Thing about the console
Yeah,
is
but you'd need a hotspot, or if there's Wi-Fi, sure.
there's Wi-Fi everywhere. I get what you're saying. You're not going to be able to actually play WoW on
Yeah,
whatever
because
phone.
internet connection around the
Or
Yeah, you're
world
gonna
is
play
still.
really
WoW
you.
at Starbucks, you know.
Hold on, guys. 5G is coming out. I'll let you guys know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
5G
if
is
that's
happening.
will that help with the Switch,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
but it doesn't have to be compatible with 5G. It just
It
benefits
has
from
to
it.
be. It has to be compatible with 5G. So
Yeah, I don't
hopefully,
think the
Switch has an update, but they'll probably do like a Switch Pro or whatever.
update is just. I don't know. I guess we're getting the weeds, but that's more software based, I guess, instead of hardware based. I don't know.
No, it is. It is more hardware based.
Oh, you mean an update to the
Like
console then
yeah, they could do like how they're
itself?
about to do Switch Mini, right?
Well, the rumor, yeah.
Yeah, they could do a full size like Switch Pro or something.
Okay, okay. Like it. I like it. So, chef, you got your game?
Yeah, so I was like a little confused coming into this, so you explained it right before we started. So I kind of just came up with this on the spot. But there was a game that I was really excited for that is kind of just totally dying now. It's called, I don't know if you've heard of it, it's called Mavericks. It was supposed to be a large world um, battle royale. Like they first announced like 1,000 player battle royale, but I think it ended up being something. It was supposed to be like 400 people.
Yeah.
And then eventually the game was going to turn into like an MMO world kind of thing, like where they'd have different, I guess, stories to grind out on or whatever. But I want to see I want to see a large base battle royale game like that. It doesn't necessarily have to turn into the MMO thing like they were pitching, but I just want to see it done well, and I want to like realistic, like modern guns. Not too much of the futuristic thing, or flying around on jetpacks or running on walls. Like I have fun with those games, but I want to see basically like a PUBG done right, plays well across all platforms.
So, how about third person, first person? What would you want to do with it?
Um, See, you have people that just don't like the first person. I think so. I mean, you could go with both. Personally, I like the first person only, like playing Apex right now, or like even in in Blackout. I think the first person just it works.
All right. Do you play more first person in PUBG?
No, because none of my friends play it, but I wish
something.
I wish they did because that's what I want to play.
Yeah.
First person's the way to go. Why don't you just do like two separate for the game, like a first person playlist and a third person playlist? Because obviously third person has its advantages. You could like
Yeah,
kind of use it to peek around corners.
yeah, and people like that, and they're used to it. And, in your Fortnite, PUBG, I guess. But yeah, so you could do total, two different, just kind of like the way it's set up in PUBG, I guess. But the only problem with that is, and it's strange when you look at like PUBG. If you watch the PUBG PC players, and like they have like the National PUBG League NPL now, like that's all first person, and the game was made originally for third person,
I played the alpha.
and it went to the first person on there. But if you go play on Xbox, I'm not sure how PlayStation is going right now, but if you go play on Xbox, like, and you queue up in a first person like solo match, it could take 5-10 minutes to even find a match.
Wow, that little
Yeah.
people play it.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. So I guess that would throw the matchmaking off then for that specific.
Yeah, it might. So I think I would probably just go first person only.
Oh, there you go. But
Oh,
then you're gonna alienate like the third person crowd, no?
Yeah, I mean,
times you got to make those tough decisions because that third person would take resources away.
This is
Depending on
like the
your.
Avengers where
it's
he like
it's gonna
sacrifices.
split. It's gonna split it. I think if you don't, and I think if the game plays well enough, even the people that like the third person better, I think they're still gonna come. If the game plays well,
That
So,
is definitely true. So would you
Yeah.
have the shooting in the game? I'm gonna run through a couple of games and then give you an idea of which one. Kind of like a Counter Strike, if you've ever played. Kind of like Rainbow Six. Kind of like PUBG. Rainbow Six is like a little more hardcore for PUBG. I feel like. Um, or kind of like more arcadey, like a Call of Duty.
I'd say like probably more like PUBG. Um, maybe Rainbow Six. I mean, you could kind of find like a hybrid.
Like a
What I
mix.
like, yeah, what I like in PUBG is sniping the most. Um, leading your shots. You have the big scope, shooting someone, 1,000 meters away, headshot. It just feels great. And
Can't say I know what that feels like.
in Rainbow Six, I love the close combat.
The CQB of it, right?
I love the way it works, leaning around corners, finding little peaks, little holes or whatever. That works.
I will say
Uh,
about PUBG, the amount I've played of it, the best thing about it is definitely the shooting. I feel like that's the most universally praised thing about the game
Yeah.
is how the shooting feels. So I'm down for some of that. Now, how about vehicles? Are there vehicles in your game?
Yeah, you're gonna have to because if you're doing a large, say 400 plus, or I haven't come to a number. I kind of just came up with this on the spot. Um, you're gonna have that many people. It's gonna be a very large map, obviously. So you got a large map. You're gonna need vehicles for sure.
and are
I
those
don't know if
vehicles
I
gonna?
would do. I don't know if I would do like any air vehicles, like a plane or helicopters or anything like that. But
I was just gonna ask any aerial vehicles.
probably not. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it just doesn't kind of go well. Look at like Fortnite, and the biggest complaint was those planes when they
That's
came
probably the
out.
same thing. Yeah, added besides turrets, but the vehicles, what's gonna be like? Are they gonna be like very realistic in two ways? Obviously, there's like the realism, like the DayZ, the PUBG, where you need gas for the vehicle. I don't know if you still need gas now in PUBG, but
Yeah, yeah, you do.
or is it gonna be more like a Fortnite where you kind of just get in and go?
I would say more realistic because you know I feel like that can make or break somebody's game. You're in a vehicle, you're not paying attention, and be
Run
screwed
out of
if
gas.
if
I
you
get what you're
run out
saying.
of
It adds
gas.
to
Yeah,
like the suspense.
yeah.
Would
I
it
like it.
actually be a factor in this game though, or would it be sort of like PUBG where you don't really need the gasoline?
Well, in PUBG you do sometimes, especially on like the bigger maps. Definitely got to keep a close eye because I mean you can get into a vehicle and it's not at full capacity in gas. It could already be at half or even under that. So I think it would, especially being a very large map. I think it would play a big part.
Right? If there's how about anything else that would distinguish it from other battle royale games? What is its most distinguishing factor? You would say.
Well, I'd say the biggest thing would be the size. You know,
Okay,
you're talking about 400 people in you know, in one lobby.
that sounds
It'd be
bananas.
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Would it have
just the sound of it. I didn't even know anything else about the game when I first heard of this Mavericks game that is supposedly dead now. Um, I didn't know anything else about it. I just heard the size and I was like, I'm down. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
this game free to download?
Uh, I think that's the way, dude. I really think it is. So I'm gonna say yeah. I mean, take a look at Fortnite's success, obviously, and then look at this new game that everyone's playing for the last 3 days. Apex Legends, free to play.
Yeah.
You're gonna do an all aesthetic cash shop.
Yeah,
Any
Battle pass.
progression unlocks or just all cosmetic? Like any
uh,
gameplay differences you unlock from loot boxes and stuff like that, or it's just all cosmetic
uh
stuff?
it's all gonna be cosmetics, yeah. Because otherwise, I don't know. You got to keep it fair to play, I think, because
Okay.
you'll get a lot of complaints from people that are just casual.
It'd be a mix though. You could have matchmaking in the game, but I think just progressive's the way to go. And right,
Yeah,
uh, skins are limited. Like if you miss season one, you're never getting.
Yeah.
yeah, totally.
I gotta say, um, well, first let me say I thought of this rule now, and we can use it if we ever play this game again going forward. I say
Okay.
it needs, in order for the game to pass, to be pitched, it needs a unanimous pitch. If one person ditches it, then it's
Oh, okay.
all right. Let's go
Yeah.
with that. With that being said, I was on the line of ditching it because it sounded like everything else, or kind of like a PUBG. But once you started convincing me with the number of players and um, wait, hold on, aerial vehicles, are you undecided about that?
You
I
know
don't. I don't want them.
Oh,
that's
well,
a
Yeah, I
deal
don't want
breaker.
them.
oof. All right, Joe, you take this one. I'll go based on you.
Man, the pressure's on. I personally am very tired of the battle royale. Like, I pitched it for my game, but that was just to like a piece of that crowd. Um, I think uh, I want to say ditch it, but I like the shooting of PUBG. Is the size the only distinguishing factor between that and battle? Like comparative to PUBG, what would be different about this game than PUBG?
I mean,
Besides the size.
especially like if you look at PUBG on PC, obviously it runs and plays better than it does on console. So I mean, that's going to be the main focus. That there. I mean, nowadays it's hard to launch a game with no bugs, but that's the main goal. Like everything's just going to run smooth, obviously, and I want to put a game out there that runs day one, very minimal issues.
All right, you know
Yeah.
what? For that reason, I'm gonna say pitch because the idea of a PUBG that actually runs well is very
Yeah.
is more enticing. So, Joe, I'll leave that one up to you, buddy.
Haha. I still am like on the fence about it. Like honestly, like why not just make PUBG smoother? Like I don't understand why this is a thing.
Well, PUBG already exists.
Um,
You can't pitch that
yeah,
game.
Yeah, I can't fix it. If I
nah,
could, I would.
that's how much he loves the game. He picks the game for
Yeah.
his pitcher,
Yeah.
pitcher ditch. Um, look, the big thing for me is I just don't think it's going to be runnable on a console at 400 players.
You don't think it's gonna
Smoothly,
be what you said?
I don't think consoles are going to be able to run it
Oh,
smoothly.
runnable. Okay.
And for that one, I think I'm going to be out. I mean, you could
Oh
listen
shit.
for me. Yeah, I think I got to ditch it just because like there's a whole population of people that like playing shooters on the console. Big population, and unless it's going to be like a Mad Box or like a Five or something that's going to run the game, I think now is not the right time. I want to ditch it for now, but I would love to see that game on the next gen. It's
All
one of the first
right.
games to come out and push that kind of new hardware to another limit.
Damn, that hurts.
Yeah. Yes.
I hope Chef's not thinking about that one later.
No, I'll be all right.
I'll be alright.
But Chef, if it makes you feel better, PUBG is my favorite one.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, PUBG is by far my favorite one, and it really is because of the shooting. It actually feels like you're shooting like a laser pistol in other games that I'm not gonna name.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. And I mean, that's pretty much the only game I played over. Like it was my main game by far. I can't take it anymore, dude. I haven't played in like the last month and a half. Just
It's just too much PUBG.
They're breaking. Well, they're breaking it. It's just
Oh,
like any kind of update that they add, throwing new skins and all this kinds of stuff out, and the game's just still broken, and they're not fixing it.
Yeah,
Just keep
like
taking.
we had a whole conversation about this in the previous podcast, and the game was like Magnum Opus, Kill It with Fire, or
you remember that?
what was it? And PUBG was the Magnum Opus. I was like, I want PUBG to get one good update where everything in the fucking game works.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Magnum Opus,
Fire.
Eternal Rebirth, and Kill It with Fire.
Exactly, yeah. And PUBG, I think, like right now, I think what we need is a polished PUBG, and then I would love to see that game that you pitched on like the gen console, so everybody could kind of play instead of people who could afford very expensive.
Yeah.
I guess that kind of does it for the gaming discussion. Do we want to move on to the off-topic stuff, or you want to call it there? Right.
I could do off. I mean, how much? I do like 50.
Right. So for our off-topic discussion, we have. My question to you would be: would humans survive against dinosaurs today? So if dinosaurs were in our world suddenly tomorrow, every dinosaur we know, would we survive?
With all the technology we already have?
Yes.
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah, that was my main question. As long as we have everything we have now, yeah,
without a doubt.
100%.
Listen, the thing you got to remember about humans is we are so good at killing things, we make things go extinct by accident. So I'm sure if we wanted to kill dinosaurs, we'd be able to kill dinosaurs. That's just the bottom line. I don't even want to argue it any further.
Give it a month, and there's gonna be some sort of, amusement park you can go to, kill your dinosaur with your children. You know what I mean?
Like, kill your dinosaur, you said?
Yeah, you go hunting.
Jesus.
Okay. We're really gonna have a dinosaur hunting. Like instead of going hunting for like quails, we'll definitely hunt dinosaurs.
Hunt the little dinosaurs from Jurassic Park 2. The Lost World.
Those I wouldn't fuck with them raptors though.
Yeah.
Can't open doors.
That's what I'm saying. What you got to think about pterodactyls, you got to think about raptors, you got to think about all kinds of stuff. T-Rexes. You really think if a raptor just appeared in your neighbor, like a group of raptors in your neighborhood, you're gonna be able to handle that? The police department is going to be able to take care of that?
Most people are not going to be able to. But yeah, the police department and, you're talking army and all that stuff. Like, yeah.
Definitely. They're not going to do anything to a tank. Like,
yeah, but tanks run out of ammo.
Like the drone strikes and stuff. You know
but then you just run them over. It's a giant fucking steel tank.
But life finds a way.
Yeah, dinosaurs they would literally be hunted, and then like I don't want to give you guys a whole economics lesson right now, but we would have what's called like the Cobra effect. They're basically like all the government would do is put a bounty on dinosaur tails or some stupid shit like that. So, like everybody with a gun would go hunt dinosaurs, and then there'd be one smart ass motherfucker that would try cheating the system, and he would just fucking breed his own dinosaurs. So he has.
You ever saw the new Jurassic World movie?
Yeah.
Is that what it was about?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Making your own dinosaur, and then they try to bring them to society and sell them on the black market.
Yeah, they like freaking dinosaurs mixed with technology.
Who the fuck on the black market would buy a dinosaur? Like, I would rather buy so much other shit on the black market.
In a movie?
I mean, in a movie, yeah, the movie gotta have a plot, but I'm saying, like, just realistically, like, let's say the guy really could make dinosaurs. Who on the black market would buy a dinosaur?
Well, the way it was in the movie,
I guess some terrorist organization.
That's what I was gonna say. Some like guerrilla warfare, terrorist organizations, military groups, maybe other governments use because that's what they wanted to do with the raptors. They wanted to train them to be like assassins in war, pretty much. You just send out a group of raptors to an area, What? I mean, the potential is certainly there. How about riding pterodactyls? Pterodactyls with fucking bombs. I mean, we have drones, I guess, but
Yeah, like
Yeah, I mean, once a
they're faster, they don't get
pterodactyl is
tired.
not gonna stop a stealth bomb. Like,
Or like just like an AC-130 helicopter.
all right.
There's so many things.
All right. So how about without technology?
No.
no, we're screwed.
So it's just clear cut either way.
Yeah, of course. Dude, this is why people are the apex predators. Like we would never survive against a lion in the wild. That's just a
Yeah.
fucking lion, nonetheless a dinosaur.
I mean, we hunted lions. We hunt lions with like sticks and stuff, right?
You know,
Humans
yes.
had to exist with lions at some point.
You want to hunt dinosaur with sticks? I mean, depends how many of us there are, but
Yeah,
some
that,
of
well,
us would definitely
that's
die.
the main point. Is you're saying that they just show up tomorrow in today's society.
With
No
no
one's lasting.
technology.
No one's lasting. Yeah.
So if there's a nationwide or a global blackout and dinosaurs showed up, we'd have no chance.
You think,
No, listen, I think we would
millennials have a
survive.
chance?
Yeah,
No
right.
way,
exactly.
Millennials.
I think we would survive. I think obviously we'd take heavy casualties. I don't think we'd be able to overcome the dinosaurs right away, but I think like it would take a couple years of us going into hiding, like something. Because like you got to remember, we still have the knowledge that made the technology, and there's spare parts lying around everywhere. Like we would have to be reduced to like almost the Stone Age, like not be able to hold
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, that's what I guess find most interesting. An apocalypse setting with dinosaurs. You know? It's
That would
like
be awful. That should be a game.
Is
They-
this?
they
is
need
this a
more
game,
dinosaur
or
games.
is this the next Jurassic Park film? Because I'm down.
yeah, speaking of games though, we definitely need some more dinosaur games. Ark Survival
We do.
Evolved is not
Yeah,
cutting
we do. Oh, Ark Survival. That game sucks. I
it.
hate that game, dude. I hate that game so much. But yes, we
Yeah.
need like an actual like this Ark isn't like I never feel like I'm surviving in Ark. In Ark I always feel like I'm better than the dinosaurs. Like if it's a really big dinosaur, I don't go fight it. I just gather some resources and I build something. You know what I mean? I want like a real like dinosaur survival game. Or like I can maybe occasionally kill one big ass dinosaur by like dropping a crane on it or something like that. Like ammo is scarce and all that stuff. I
That
want
might-
to shit in my pants when I play that game.
This is probably good for another gaming discussion in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Another
like,
pitch.
you ever heard of Dino Crisis or played it?
yeah, man. Yeah, I played it.
That's what they need to bring back. Like they brought back Resident Evil 2 or the remake rather. They need to
haven't
bring
played
back
that
Dino
either.
Crisis in that vein.
Absolutely streaming that game when I play it.
Well,
I'm gonna shit
Resident
my
Evil.
pants. Yeah, I'm gonna shit my pants. It's gonna be great.
Alright.
Actually, it's gonna be awful for me, but for you guys.
Great content.
So, mentioning your stream, I guess this will be a good place to end it. Where can people? Well, are you gonna start streaming on iXi Club, or are you gonna
iXi
keep?
Club, man. iXi
Okay,
Club.
yeah. All right. So if we're streaming, you can find us at twitch.tv/iXi Club. On the screen, you'll notice on the bottom left our different social media: Instagram, Twitter. Although Twitter is a little inactive, iXi Club. On Twitch and on YouTube. And
Check us out.
yeah, me personally, you can find me on Twitter at unknown IXI right there in the bottom right of the screen. Glint, how about you? You have a Twitter?
I believe it's Glint iXi. Let me double check.
How-
That means they'll follow me on Twitter. Give me 1 second. I'll tell you right now.
how about you, Chef? You where do you stream? Where can people find you if they want to reach out to you?
Chef Boyardee TV on Mixer. And
That's Chef Boyardee just as it's spelled, and that's Boyardee with 2 E's, right?
yes,
Just TV, all one word.
TV. Yeah.
I
Okay,
got it. It's Glint_IXI. That's Twitter.
nice. And you
Hold the
said,
tweet.
Chef, you said on Mixer, right? Mixer.com.
Yeah, on Mixer, and all my socials are, Instagram or Twitter. It's the same thing, Chef Boyardee TV.
Oh, you got a universal tag there, huh, buddy?
Yep.
One guy.
All right. So I guess without with all that, anything else you guys want to say? Last words, final things, anything?
No, just thanks for inviting me, dude. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you come back for future episodes.
Yeah.
I'm glad you showed up for this.
Yeah, always welcome. We have open arms for you.
And with that, we love you all and good night.
Later, guys.